high sensitivity today, not to brands. They don't hate brands. Sometimes they even have a lot of fun with brands. They know you're trying to sell them something. It's okay. They get it. They're going to buy something. Don't worry. But they don't like being condescended to. They don't like being manipulated. And they don't like being shouted at. A lot of advertising just kind of shouts at you from down there. And the Onitsuka Tiger work, one of the brilliant things about it is exactly that. It's genuinely entertaining. It actually genuinely says something about the product and the brand that is interesting. It's the kind of brand you want to get to know.
Asics is a $1.3 billion global sporting goods manufacturer known for its technologically advanced running shoes. But interestingly enough, it was consumer desire for older Asics shoes that led them to hire Strawberry Frog.
Asics are the running shoe brand we know now, and sportswear brand we know now. Onitsuka Tiger are all the Tiger shoes from the early days, from 1949 to approximately 1981. You probably know there's a trend in old school shoes, and it was actually people in the marketplace, just public, who turned around to Asics and said to them, do you know what? You got some wicked old product from the past. Why don't you re-edition it? And I think it was that success of them realising, hey, we got a product that people want, that made them realise they needed an agency to sort of manage it, to get it out there creatively and to sort of advertise it.
It was a perfect match. Strawberry Frog, one of the hippest new global agencies in the advertising world, and Onitsuka Tiger, retro sneakers with a real history that appealed to a very specific and hip demographic. The challenge was to find a way to reach this demographic, which in the industry they call sneakerheads, without actually selling to them or seeming too obvious. The campaign segments had to be ultra cool and under the radar, so to speak. In addition, they had to work within budgets that were a fraction of competitor budgets at companies like Nike and Adidas. The campaign is an ongoing one, marked by websites, independent film projects, cutting-edge print campaigns, viral marketing, and innovative promotional pieces. In this video, we'll take a look at 3 of the most creative, fun, and successful parts of the overall effort to date. The creation of online movies and commercials is not unusual in today's advertising world. But Strawberry Frog went one step further for Onitsuka Tiger when they created a short film designed specifically for the film festival circuit.
The Running Fish Gutter was a short film about following your dreams.
I was just a humble fish gutter.
Unbeknown to him, he was like the fastest fish gutter in Kyoto. One day he had a revelation. This Olympic athlete came in and changed his life.
He suggested I follow a new direction. It became clear to me that I had to run to the next games.
The story unfolds, and at first you're not really sure how or why what's going on. There are some, you get some sort of cutaway shots of people kind of looking and walking past, and everything's upside down. And eventually you realise that the guy is actually running on his fingers. And what he's trying to do is reach the Olympics. And he starts in 1968, and then there's successive Olympics right through to Athens. You need to watch the film to see whether he actually does it or not. But we started seeding that in January of 2004, with the intention of building kind of a momentum and buzz right up to the Athens Olympics.
Distributing their message via the film festival circuit allowed them to reach their demographic without having to rely on more traditional and more expensive venues like commercials.
We want to attract a different kind of audience, and we wanted a sort of more underground, very creative, pan-European audience that would actually go and see the film, relate to the brand, connect to the brand, enjoy the brand, and I think that's a kind of a key point.
However, they also gave the film an online presence.
The target audience that we have are very visual people, and they're also very literate on the web. It's just part of their lives. and we created our the world's first upside-down website. So you could click on it and actually rotate the site upside down to add an extra twist and value to it. We also focused on PR. We tackled like the MSN in Germany. On one particular day, there was the new Godzilla movie was #1 in terms of news stories. The Running Fish Gutter was #2, and Michael Moore, Fahrenheit 9/11 was #3, and we knocked Michael Moore off the top spot. Obviously not our intention, but it just showed the value of producing something interesting and quirky and have that real, what's that all about? So the end result was that it got seen by about 9 million people had an exposure to the film, either through online media and through offline media.
2004 was the year of the Athens Olympics. It just so happened that 40 years before that, 1964, Tiger swept the board at the Tokyo Olympics.
For Japanese athletes, it was their best performance in the Olympics to date, winning 29 medals, 16 of which were gold.
It really was their year. They were all wearing tigers, so something special was obviously going on. There was something in the air.
In this case, the challenge for Onitsuka Tiger and Strawberry Frog was to play upon this history without taking themselves too seriously or appearing that they were living in the past. The obvious solution? Hero breath.
We captured what was special back in 1964 and we put it in a can, and it's called Hero Breath. And this is genuine athlete's breath from 1964. We went to Japan, we found one of the gold medalist athletes, and we got him to blow into a rather large bag.
遠藤さん、目を閉じて1964年東京で勝利した演技をイメージしてください。ではその時を思い出すため雰囲気ある音を出しましょう。ヒーローの息、1964年の精神、栄光の瞬間、オリンピック選手の息が今ここに。
And we canned it. These are like they're a bit like Red Bull cans.
We created 3 different cans, which were actually the press pack, so it told the story of 3 different shoes, which was the Tokyo 64 collection.
And we sent this to opinion formers throughout the world, to journalists, everyone writing about the Olympics.
Yeah, kind of movers and shakers and journalists from consumer, lifestyle, fashion.
This is an airbag, goes through the post. We put a sticker on the front with the journalist's address on, put a stamp on it. It says handle with care, contains history.
And in the end they started to appear on eBay, and there was a bit of a huge demand for them. And just on that, the overall Hero Breath campaign won a Silver Lion at the Cannes Awards last year.
As you might imagine, selling ideas this outlandish to corporate clients can be a challenge that often borders on the surreal.
The relationship that we have with Onitsuka Tigers is fantastic.
You can think of ideas and you can have good ideas and stuff like that, but if you don't get on well with your client, you're not going to really get very far.
I wouldn't say that we could kind of present anything, but when you go in and say, yeah, there's this guy, he runs on his fingers, he's Japanese and he runs around the world, you know, they kind of trust us.
It's not just about great work, it's about getting on with people.
The story behind the Onitsuka Tiger Kill Bill promotion is really one of happy coincidences.
Some of you have seen the yellow and black Tai Chi shoe that Uma Thurman wears in Kill Bill. To give you a bit of background, Kill Bill is Quentin Tarantino's homage to Bruce Lee. It's his remake of Game of Death. And Bruce Lee just happened to be a tiger fan. He wore tigers.
As a result of this, Strawberry Frog and Onitsuka Tiger had been planning a special edition of the Tai Chi shoe in honor of the 30-year anniversary of Bruce Lee's death.
It was like a Chinese takeaway carton, special edition pair of shoes, special edition laces, wrapping, history, whatever. And we actually hand-delivered it on the back of like Chinese takeaway little pizza scooters, and we just did it around the world to influential people.
Well, it was around this time that Quentin Tarantino was in pre-production for Kill Bill.
Tarantino actually phoned up a life shop in New York and said, what should we wear? And they're they're a very important opinion former to us, and they said you should wear the Thai cheese. And and the rest is history in terms of filming and film posters. And then, because we were the brand that supplied the products, we could then host film premieres throughout the world. We actually produced a very nice little 5-minute short film about Onitsuka Tiger, and that got shown at the Kill Bill premiere that Tarantino in fact attended in the States and the one in Europe. So we sort of did, you get opportunities, you get magazines interested in your brand and the film, and so we did some cover mounts, some CDs, we gave product away. You can sort of build on these opportunities.
As a result of its hard work, Strawberry Frog has exceeded Asics' expectations in Europe. But this is just the beginning.
We're building the brand, it's a little baby. We've spent 3 years doing it.
Onitsuka Tiger were looking for something very fresh, very different. They were largely an unknown brand in Europe.
What makes it a great brand to work on is you have to be smart.
We really have to differ from Adidas or Nike.
You have to do innovative marketing. You have to work harder to come up with great ideas.
And we don't try to do what they do, but do it, and because then we would just fail. We try to do really different work.
We're building it in Europe. We're starting to work in the States. We're also starting to work in Japan, which is pretty unusual that the Japanese are now going to be working with Strawberry Frog. And I think that is credit to the success of the work that we've been doing so far.